The biggest loser on Team Chiefs, I do believe, was Taylor Swift. I think it's fair to say. And we wound up, I told the audience last week, we were guests of YouTube, which, as you know, a lot of our audience watches the show on YouTube. We've had record numbers on YouTube. I mean, actually stunning numbers over the past 6 months in particular. But so we went, and to the right, literally right next to us was Taylor Swift. And then to the left was Donald Trump. I mean, they were there's Doug and yours truly, and you can see Taylor Swift right behind us. That was her booth, and the Kelsey mom and families. And then if you look to my left, there's Trump. He was two boxes over from us. And what a juxtaposition in the crowd reaction. So Taylor Swift got popped up on the Jumbotron, as happens with these big stars. And here's what happened. Those are boos. All right. And then here's what happened when Trump showed up on cam.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the
The crowd saw him.
Was so gallant this dream.
You guys.
You were in between that? You were right in between those two?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I was right in between those two. Right in between those two. And it was just so obvious. The crowd loved Trump. She looked confused about why the crowd was booing her. And I submit to you, gentlemen, it doesn't have anything to do with, well, maybe a tiny bit to do with her support of the Chiefs, because I do think it was a predominantly Eagles crowd. It has to do with her politics and her shoving them down our throat, taking a side, endorsing Kamala Harris because of Tim Walz and his let's trans everyone's children and put tampons in men's rooms policies. She's managed to alienate more than half of the country. Taylor, sorry, FAFO. You were in the FO part of your political endorsement phase.
No doubt. Well, I'm still trying to recover from a post I made a few weeks ago where I said, in a world full of Taylor Swifts, be Carrie Underwood, and I stand by that tweet.
Yeah, that is a good tweet.
Yes.
But I think a lot of people are this one, to me, this was even more than about football, right? It's almost a culture reckoning here. People are tired of the media putting false idols in front of them with a political agenda, and they want to get it behind a real leader that the people can understand, that actually see eye to eye with. And that's Donald Trump. This wasn't about Philly fans or Eagles booing them because she roots for Travis Kelce and the Chiefs. It's exactly what you said, Megyn. It's the political things. Whoever propped Taylor up to be this position, I'll never know. NFL fans don't want this, and America doesn't want this. So I'm not sorry. I don't feel bad for her at all. She deserved what she got.
Yeah, I don't feel... Taylor Swift's made so much money at the end of the day. You'd be hard-pressed to make me feel bad for her about anything. But I think this goes back to authenticity. I think even the people that don't like Donald Trump respect him because at least he is being who he truly is. Taylor Swift feels like a puppet. It feels like a puppet. If you watch her political affiliation and that mixed with them just shoving her down our throats as football fans the whole year in the past 2 years, I think it all culminated in that, and that's the juxtaposition. You may not like me personally, but I'm real and you can respect that. You may not like me personally, but I'm inauthentic. I'm going to boo the inauthentic person. And you know what? That makes me feel like we're more back than anything.
Who do you think gets a louder standing ovation in that moment, though? Donald Trump or Megyn Kelly?
I'm going to go Megyn Kelly.
I'm going to go
Megyn Kelly, 1,000%.
No, you want to talk about,
I'm going
the stadium.
No.
Even with messed up hair, which I'm sure looked great, I'd still go Megyn.
For sure.
It could have looked better. I'm not going to lie. I will tell you what my favorite celeb sighting of the whole weekend, and there were some great, very cool people there, but I always like it when I get surprised. I swung by this Fox party, my old hot, and guess who came over to me and told me he was my #1 fan? I'm probably going to get him in trouble, but he's a big fan, apparently, of the MK show. Rob Lowe. Yes.
Really?
Wow. Brat Pack star Rob Lowe. I was like, welcome aboard on the fair and balanced squad. He didn't say what his politics were, but he was I think he was talking about honesty. He appreciated the honesty of the show and didn't show his politics one way or the other. But to your point about authenticity, people know when they're getting it, right? They know. Yeah. They know with Trump, they're getting the real deal. And I think with Taylor Swift, she's had some good battles that she's fought. She stood up for herself, that whole Scooter Braun thing, and they tried to steal her music away. And for a while, the country was uniformly behind her. But she blew it. She blew it by two things, I say. Number one, overexposure. Same thing happened to J-Lo. She was too much, too many places where it's just I'm sick of you. I gave you some celebration. Maybe I brought my kid to your Eras tour. Now I get you shoved down my throat in every magazine cover, all over the internet, at the football games every week, and I'm just trying to watch the game. I'm sick of you. And then secondly, and more importantly, she got political. And I'm sorry, no matter which side you choose, you're going to alienate half of the country, especially when you go for the Dem and say it's the LGBTQ piece of the Dem platform that's making you endorse them. In particular, she named Tim Walz, a lunatic who literally would like to trans our children and take custody away from us if we don't want to do it.
And also, she abandoned her country music roots. I know that's just a different part of this, but still, that's where she came from. And I don't fault her at all for becoming a pop star. And hey, my origins are just as a country music artist. But it feels like part of it, she's abandoned that completely just to go sing pop music and has sort of never returned or to that demographic of fans.
Well, I mean, in a weird way, this kind of has shades, and Megyn, you may remember this, of the Dixie Chicks and what happened to them. I mean, I remember that fall from grace when they got political. Now, it's not to the extent with Taylor Swift because they were still singing country music and things like that. But I would put to you, Megyn, that one of the main reasons, outside of awful policy, I mean, Tim Walz, as sad as it is, I think he was just born that way. I think he's that type of person. He's insane, wanting to put tampons in the boys' bathrooms and calling yourself a football coach when we all know you weren't. And meanwhile, at the same time, you were in Tiananmen Square standing up in front of tanks when you weren't even there at the
time.
That
big six.
That's a story for another day. But I would put to you, Megyn, that one of the same reasons that Kamala lost so badly, I think she would have lost even if she was an okay candidate, was the inauthenticity, and that same thing has started to drag Taylor Swift down at the end of the day, not just getting political, not just backing the wrong political horse, but you can smell a fake from a mile away, and she's 100% fake when it comes to this stuff, and outside of talking about 14-year-old boys that she broke up with, I don't know if there's anything authentic about her.
Give me Lainey Wilson any day, who I met and spent some time with and loved, by the way. She was amazing. She's from Louisiana. I did not realize that. What a class act. Super talented, was nice to everybody. Loved spending some time with her and getting to know her and her team. We continue to face uncertainty when it comes to the economy, with a perfect storm brewing as Social Security and Medicare hit a breaking point, as the largest generation is hitting retirement. A smaller workforce means a smaller tax base. You pair that with our growing national debt and our rising cost of living, and we could have a very big problem on our hands. So what are you doing now to protect your family for the future? Are you diversifying? Gold can be very useful to you in this. It can be a safe haven in hard economic times. And Birch Gold has a super great reputation, and they will make it very easy to diversify a portion of your savings, if you so choose, into physical gold. Birch Gold will help you transition an existing IRA or 401k, in whole or in part, into an IRA in gold, and it will not cost you 1 cent out of pocket. Protect your future today. Text MK to 989898 and get your free info kit on gold and a copy of the ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era, with a foreword by Donald Trump Jr. There's no obligation, just information. Birch Gold has earned the trust of countless Americans looking to safeguard their savings. You just text my initials, MK, to the number 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.